What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome back to episode number 72 of Park to Prem here with Nottingham Forest. Today we have a huge game at the top of the Premier League, and I feel like over the last few years we've become a little bit complacent, a little bit comfortable in the Premier League. It's been a little while since we've truly been challenged, but this Chelsea team this year, and I suppose a few of the other teams, are doing just that. There is a lot to play for. Today, we are taking on Chelsea, who currently sit top of the league and ahead of us with the same number of games played. Yeah, as I've said, it's tight at the top. We have not been in the best of form as of late. We had a little bit of a rough spell towards the end of October since you were last here, but hopefully we're going to go back to the top of the table today. A defeat, though, it would be pretty disastrous in terms of the grand scheme of things, I suppose. Of course, with the fact it is December, we have played a lot of football, not just in the league, but also in the Champions League, where, as you can see, we have qualified through. But as you will come to see, Sociedad, they caused us a couple of little problems, which is something to maybe be a bit wary of. I feel like, I don't know, I don't want to say it's just complacency. I just feel like the whole team was playing so well. We were in a good run. And this year, it's not been as plain sailing as I would like thus far. Anyway, of course, last episode you were here, we beat Borussia Dortmund 3-0. That was a good little result. And to be honest, Dortmund, very disappointing in the Champions League. They have lagged way behind in the grand scheme of things. And, following on from that, we beat Liverpool 3-1. First game, Largo with 2, and Adebayo with another goal. I have been giving him a fair amount of football, and that is because we've had a lot of issues when it comes to injuries, including ERK breaking his leg. Now, because it's been about 2 months since we were last here, he's actually way on the road to the recovery of his broken leg. It was, I suppose, minor in the grand scheme of things, a fractured lower leg, out for 2 months of it. But as you can see, especially during October, 9 injuries in the month. It was pretty brutal, and these were semi-long-term injuries as well. If we look at things here, you can see Matty's been out for 2 weeks. De Volder, he's been out for 2 weeks as well. A lot of players here who haven't previously had issues with injuries, which of course makes things a tiny bit concerning. Largo missed a little bit of football, you might remember, in August, but you can see here Poyana, Navio, Gallardo. Not all of these super long-term injuries, but we've now had our best 11 in a little while. There's constantly been little bits of rotation. I feel like to an extent that unsettledness has perhaps led to the struggle in form, which was really started, I suppose, by this game against Tottenham. It finished 2-1 on this occasion, and Tottenham, well worth their lead. We were unbeaten until this match as well, which made things bitterly disappointing. We took the lead as well through Gonzalez. Really nice finish for him. I feel like he has just been the standout player so far. I feel like we really take for granted his goal scoring. Unfortunately, his solitary goal was not enough here. They grabbed a couple. The first was through Mortellaro, who scored in the 45th minute. And then later on in the game, Andy Easton scored from the English forward, one of England's kind of star national team players, a player who I kind of regret not signing when he became available and Liverpool sold him. He's a pretty good player. I will say now, he scored 2 goals all season. Of course, one of them had to be against us here. But looking at the XG, looking at the stats, we were second best, and you know what? It was not a rotated team by any means. There was a little bit of rotation due to injuries, but this was a strong 11 that fell short. And well, against Sociedad, things did not get any better. In this game, Camper, this chap here, he was phenomenal. It turns out he's very good. He is Sociedad's key player, and well, we were quite familiar with him by the end of this game because he grabbed 2 in this match, and 2 of those came right before half-time. A quick 1-2 sucker punch from the man who plays out on the left-hand side, and that kind of stunned us a little bit. I felt like we'd largely controlled the first half. The 2 goals before half-time made me get shouty. I wanted a response. Did we get one? No, is the answer. It is worth noting we were playing the slightly adjusted 4-2-3-1. I feel like there's a little bit of room to tweak that system still. Perhaps you could attribute that to this defeat as well as the one against Tottenham. But against many teams, it served us well. You can see in this match, the XG was close, but to be fair, they edged it, and it was Bino Gittins, that's probably not how you say his name, an English chap who I'm not very familiar with. In real life, apparently, he plays for Borussia Dortmund, so if you're a Dortmund fan and you know about him, let me know. Can't say he's a player who I've heard of before. In Football Manager, he's blooming good. He grabbed a very late goal for them there. And well, things didn't get much better against Man City. We lost to them 2-0 at home. I feel like when you look at the XG totals, I can claim that I was unlucky. But to be honest, we didn't score. We lacked a cutting edge. We lacked a bit of creativity. Missing ERK. Devayo was also out through injury. And I think in this game, Van Dijk didn't play well. Adebayo didn't score. Gonzalez had opportunities he missed. And in the end, it was a Pizzella goal followed by a Tarasov header, if I'm not mistaken, in the 25th minute, that saw them take all 3 points. So yes, a disappointing end to October. The good news is, in our last 6 games, perhaps 6 slightly more straightforward games, we have done well. We have got results. We beat Birmingham 3-1 in the EFL Cup. Van Dijk, Edison and Ionu with the goals there. Then against Villa, a rotated team spanked them. More performances like this, please. We went back to the 4-3-3. As you can see, Gonzalez with 1, Edison with a couple as well is great to see. Edison, of course, a player we signed this summer for £20 million. I feel like I have a couple too many attacking players really in the team. I talked about it a couple of episodes ago about the need to perhaps loan a few players out. Unfortunately, teams didn't want new signings out on loan, you know, the younger players we'd picked up over the summer. As a result, they'd been kicking around with the first team, and with the likes of ERK and Devayo out injured, it did provide an opportunity for players like Edison, who, to be honest, so far has impressed me and is training really well at the tender age of 19, so keep an eye out for him. Villa, they're not going to be big fans of him after that performance. You can see in the next 3 games, all at home, 3 wins on the bounce. Only 1 clean sheet, though. We beat Sociedad 3-1 to get a little bit of revenge on them. Ionu, Gonzalez and Poyana with the goals there. Against West Ham, we won 5-2. This was a game that should have been a lot more straightforward than it was. Nice to see a variety of goal scorers as we ran out comfortable victors in the end. And then against Newcastle, a 4-0 victory. Gonzalez with 2. Largo and Lind with the goals in this game. Good to see David Lind getting in on the score sheet. He has had an interesting season so far. I feel like he's a player who, because of where he plays in the team, he's always suffered when it comes to his average ratings. You can see he's not averaging above a 7.0 any season, but this is his best season so far in terms of average rating. What I would say is, in terms of actual meaningful goal contributions, been perhaps lacking a little bit, playing as that box-to-box midfielder infrequently. But you know what? We got a win, he got a goal, and well, most recently we took on Dynamo Zagreb, and we weren't very kind to them. We spanked them. We caused them all kinds of problems, and in the end, Ionu got 2, Poyana got 2. In fact, no, Poyana got a hat-trick. I don't know if I've forgiven him yet for last season. Should I move on with my life? Perhaps. To be fair, 10 goals so far this season. He's making a pretty good claim and a pretty good case for me to forgive him and look beyond his, shall we say, misdemeanours of last season. So all in all, some really, really good results there. A little bit of a mixed bag, a disappointing spell in the middle. In terms of how we're going to line up for today's game against Chelsea, I've got a bit of a dilemma. I could go for the newer 4-3-3, or I could go for the slightly more defensive 4-3-3 with the ball-winning midfielder. And you know what? Weighing this all up, I think this is the approach that we are going to take for this game. You can see ERK still coming back from injury. Mbappe is injured as well. But other than that, we can make some changes here to hopefully get ourselves in the best possible position. In terms of the team for today's game, it's going to be Danny Dyer in goal, Navio at left back, Sampaio at right back, Piccione and Peter Zak in the middle, De Volder, Lind and Largo, Devayo and Poyana in the wide areas. Poyana coming in for the injured ERK. And up top, Gonzalez, 5 goals in his last 5. He's been a little bit hit and miss, to be honest. Some games he turns up and scores 2 or 3. Sometimes he just doesn't turn up at all, especially for the Spanish national team. I have to assume that they're playing him out on the right-hand side, like we did once upon a time, where we were misusing him. Where are they playing you? They are playing... He's playing as a striker, he's just not scoring. Gonzalez, sort it out. I feel like he'll get 1 goal for the national team, and then he'll be fine. Then he'll find his groove, and he'll be a top quality player for them. Either way, shall we submit our team for today's game? We need a win. As I said, a defeat here and we could drop 4 points behind Chelsea at the top, and perhaps more worryingly for us, Manchester United could leapfrog us and Tottenham could end up on the same points total as us. And what I was hoping was going to be a straightforward Premier League season suddenly goes completely out of the window. Yeah, it's been a long time since we've had a proper title battle. I feel like the last couple of years we've wrapped things up with a game to spare, or more than a game to spare in many cases, which is quite nice when that happens because it does allow me to focus on the Champions League. I'm not really looking forward to the prospect of a battle in the league like the one that we've endured for about the first half of the season now, alongside competing, of course, in the Champions League, where we are guaranteed a knockout spot at this point. Anyway, the team is at full strength. We're going back to the classic 4-3-3 with a ball-winning midfielder. I feel like this is a system that works pretty nicely when we're playing away from home. You can see here, we do have better goal difference than Chelsea. We like goals in our matches. Hopefully, we'll be scoring a few against them here. Of course, it feels a little bit weird whenever we meet Chelsea because we've got players like De Volder and Largo who we plucked away from Chelsea. Two of their more, I suppose, important players in many ways. Chelsea, for a long time in the Park to Prem universe, we have here, well, you know, the best team in England by a margin. For close to a decade, they bossed the league. Since we've come up, they've kind of fallen down the pecking order, missed out on Europe for a few years, and we've stolen away their players. But this year, they've come back, and they're coming back strong. And, well, I'm going to be honest, we're 40 minutes into this game. Can something happen, please? Anything. We've got a highlight. It's Sampaio with the throw-in to Poyana. Cleared away by Connor Smith. Poyana not able to get on the end of it there. Maybe now we need to be worried. They're bringing the ball forward. Dinked over. Navio misses his tackle. It's now with Ruiz, who plays it forward to Sabella. Danny Dyer stands tall. I was hoping that was going to be his time to shine, his moment. In the end, he wasn't even needed. He didn't need to be there. The shot goes wide of the mark. Late chance for them in the half. Actually looks like we had a significant opportunity that wasn't shown in a replay. Sort it out, SI. Make me look semi-good here. I'm going to tell the players I'm delighted, which is perhaps a bit of an exaggeration, but I do feel like in this game, if we could come away with a draw, given how well they're doing in the league, I would have to be kind of pleased with that. I will say now, with an hour gone, Poyana's tired. I'm going to take him off and bring in Edison. Gonzalez has not been good up front, but I think I have to remain patient. I'm going to take off Lind. I'm going to bring in Adrian Smith. I think that's the play. Bring in Adrian Smith, the hometown hero. Grew up at this club. We've kind of hand-raised him as one of our own. Hopefully, he's going to be the man to make an impact for us. As Largo stands over the free kick against his former club. Was that Edison? Sorry. We're going to go back there. Because I think Edison, our right winger, has headed away the shot. What happened here? He has. He's headed it back to De Volder. I mean, something could still come of it, and we'll call Edison a genius. Smith scores. Edison assists. He knew what he was doing. It was never in doubt. The subs link up. We find the back of the net. Welcome to the club, Edison. Talked about him earlier. You know, a player who has, I suppose, benefited from ERK's injury. He's chipped up with another little goal contribution there. Always nice to see the subs make an impact. Smith smashes it. Not sure if he should beat the keeper at the near post. I'm not going to complain. I don't give a Scooby-Doo. We're going to take that. And in fact, off the back of that, they are going to bring in Doe up front for them, who's a very, very good forward who has scored against us a few times over the years. I'm a bit scared of him. Not as scared as I am of Connor Smith, who I think actually got subbed off here. Nikitovic hits the side netting. Nikitovic, by the way, Serbian player. You may remember Chelsea spent over 200 million on him. He's been garbage, so yeah, not a great addition to the team by them. And well, we've had one shot on target for us. It's not been a classic, has it, so far here? And with a few minutes left, they're throwing lots of men forward. So I think we've got to time waste a little, you know. We've got to time waste a little. I'm going to change the wing backs back on to defend. I've got one last sub in my back pocket. DeVayo continuing to have a disappointing start to his time at the club. To be fair, he did fracture his back. He has had a few injuries to speak of. But for 106 million, I don't feel like he's changed how we function as a team, like I thought he might. Anyway, there's a highlight here. As soon as I go slightly more conservative, there's a chance, which scares me. Nikitovic has chipped it. Oh, my word. You know how I said about him not being worth 200 million? Yeah, I'd like to take that back. He has just scored for them there. It's a really good finish as well, isn't it? That's a dagger through my heart. I said at half-time a draw wouldn't be that bad, but having been in the lead to concede at this moment in the game, I mean, Danny Dyer's good. He ain't stopping that. That's an insane finish, to be fair. It's hard to be mad when a goal like that goes in. We'll go very attacking here with the couple of minutes that remain, but nothing is going to happen. And to be honest, it wasn't a classic, was it? That goal is a sucker punch, though. I am not happy with that. And I'm going to let the players know just that. Oh. I mean, everyone else plays later than us this week, and the two teams we really care about are Manchester United and Tottenham. We will see how they get on here. But that is not the start to December we needed. We avoid defeat, but that should have been a win. That could have been the chance to go back to the top of the table, and it certainly keeps them in with a shout. You can see here, Tottenham drew against West Brom. So West Brom in 16th. Thank you very much. Manchester United, do you play tomorrow? You do. You play Man City tomorrow. Well, I need to see how that plays out. We need to see. If we slip down to third, it's a footballing disaster, everyone. Although, actually, can we slip down to third? I'm not sure. Also worth noting, Ballo, out on loan at Atletico, is doing phenomenal. 3 goals, 4 assists in La Liga Santander. 7.27 rating for a 19-year-old. I mean, I'm very excited by this chap. £24 million paid. He scored. No, he didn't score. He got an assist for us before we loaned him out, before the transfer window slammed shut. It would be fair to say that he's doing quite well in Spain right now as things stand. Anyway, can Man City do us a favour? I say do us a favour. If they win, they close the gap on us as well. They only make things really closer at the top. Adrian Smith wants to discuss the number of games he's playing. Look, Adrian, you're a club legend. You're a one-club man. I play you a lot of the time, and your average ratings, they're questionable at best. I don't need you coming to me in moments like this and complaining. Remember when he was a defensive winger? Remember that? That feels like a lifetime ago, doesn't it? Right, Piotr, sort it out. Does his job. I love Piotr. Love him. Could be a politician with the way he can play people. Also, there's a few players here who our staff are recommending. I mean, I'm going to assume that players like this guy, I'm not going to be able to sign. What about Paez? I'm not going to pay 22 million for him. Who's this guy? I mean, his name is definitely not the Carpenter, but I just want to call him the Carpenter. It's Charpentier. I don't know. It's a French name. I don't speak French. Although I do have a GCSE in French. Could you believe that? No, me neither. United have won. United have won. Look at that table at the top. Man City fall away from the pace. I mean, for United, ourselves and Chelsea drawing was probably the ideal result. I fear that this year is going to be a battle. I mean, there is still 24 league games left. There's still lots of football left to be played. But the early signs are this could be a bit of a fight on our hands, I suppose, to make things comfortable. In terms of when we'll be back next time, I think we have to come back for the game against Manchester United in the league. It's in the 13th of January. The transfer window will be open. We do have a little bit of money to spend, although not in the bank balance, just what we've been told we're going to have, £21 million. Maybe we'll look to sell some players on. I feel like reinforcements aren't really needed. Just a bit of rotation. Maybe we try and cash in and add 1 or 2 players of quality. As I said, the player who I was hoping was going to bring quality this year, Devayo, he's had a bit of a rough start to his time at the club. He's had a broken back. He's bruised his knee. It's not been perfect. And you know what? Maybe it's just going to take him a little while to get up to speed. I've got faith in him, though. Hopefully. Maybe. We'll find out, I guess, over the course of the rest of the season. Anyway, gang, that's going to wrap up everything from me today. Thank you so much for watching, as always. If you've enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like on it. We will be back again tomorrow. And well, until then, it is me, Jack, and I will talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.